Oh, landmines and jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess, and to quote John F. Kennedy, they make cars with roofs? But for the last week I've been carrying the Ontario Rat 1 and S35VN. So this thing came through a trade with a viewer, Joseph Garcia, and I think I got the better end of the deal. But let's take a second to thank him in the comments for making this possible, because there's no way I could have afforded to buy this for myself under my own steam right now. If you're new here or you haven't heard this preamble before, let's take a look at what we're holding real quick. And first things first, and most importantly, the pocket clip. And I think you know where I'm going with this. Is tip up, which is the Lord's carry. It could be tip down, and I hate tip down, but we all live in sin. It is reversible. We have got red G10 right here. We got thumb studs, so let's flick the stud. And 3.5 inches of S35VN steel. So this is one that, honestly, I fell in love with this thing about 30 seconds after I got it out of the box. This is one of my favorite knives that I own now. And so, carrying it for the week. The one thing that stood out was I kept this in the waistband most of the week because I've got the cheapest Amazon knife possible in my pocket for a few more days. We're going to get into that thing, but I knew it was there the entire time. I could feel it, and it wasn't the most comfortable experience, which surprised me because this is well designed. The edges are chamfered well, like it's flat. The only thing I could think is maybe that I have to tighten my belt up a lot more than I used to because weight's been vanishing. I haven't been trying, but I also power walk like 5 to 7 miles a day at work, like there's a fire that I eventually have to get away from. That might have played a part in it. If I hadn't had to wear a belt, I probably wouldn't have noticed it, but that's just something that's worth mentioning. Now, the edge that Joe had put on it was for farm work and for hard use, and so that was pretty obtuse, and I put my own edge on this thing so that we had what we need for our purposes here at 17 degrees per side. What that means is with this edge, which I'll try to catch it in the light here, you can see right there, it is a mirrored edge, especially up here on this tip. Like, I mirrored it out. I took a lot of time sharpening it, and that means an edge that I put on there was an absolute treat. A Bonnie, a treat, and a joy forever. Because, of course, I work off a factory edge if it's a new knife, and we run it as it came out of the box, and sometimes that spells trouble. We get edges that won't cut worth the crap. We get edges that have got problems out the wahoo. And it was nice to have one of my own edges on here. I think I've done that 2, maybe 3 times now for a week of carry. And, you know, I love how it cuts when I got my own edge on it. Of course, I fed it a couple pieces of cardboard. It liked those just fine. Cutting the plastic wrap off of pallets, it went through there like I was cutting water. Like, it did everything a hand-whittled edge should. So, yeah, really no major surprises outside of the discomfort in the waistband. You know, in the pocket, of course, it's a larger knife. Like, you can kind of see, I have got extra large hands, and there's dingus end here and dingus end here. And, of course, if you flip it over, you can still see dingus end, and you can still see a lot of dingus end here. So what that means is it took up a lot of space, and of course that made it harder to dig around to get keys out or anything else. So, you know, more often than not, I just pulled it out of the pocket, got what I needed, and then put it back. And of course, with that pocket carry, when I had it in the pocket, easy access, the pocket clip cooperated. Tucking into the waistband, it cooperated really well. It gave me no major issues getting it put back there either. And between a waistband and a belt, trying to put something back and catch the clip just right can be a royal challenge, especially if the dingus end is not well thought out. So the dingus end here, definitely well thought out. It did a great job there. The retention on the clip is strong enough, like more than strong enough. It's not the stiffest belt clip that I've had, but it's up there in that butter zone of right where you want it to be. Flick the stud again. Y'all didn't see that coming. But yeah, like, everything about the Rat 1 is a fantastic knife. It's well designed. It deserves the hype. Like I said, I've got my Rat 2 here in OD green. Let's flick this stud. Much smaller stud flick. And of course, this one carried fantastic. It's a little bit easier in the waistband because it is a smaller knife. A bit easier in the pocket because it is a smaller knife. But, you know, when you're carrying a bigger knife, considerations for carrying are part of the price of entry. You know, if you're going to carry a big knife, you definitely got to figure out how to carry it the most effectively, or just deal with it in the usual spots and work around it being a big knife. So, like, you can't really ding that for that. Like, it's hard to find a big knife that really does those things easily. Carrying in the waistband, big knives can carry flat enough. However, with as tight as I'm having to wrench my belt down, that's probably becoming a thing of the past right now. If your pants fit well and you don't need a belt or you don't have to really ratchet it down as hard as you can, yeah, it's going to be fine there. It's going to do just fine. So, you know, I know this is a short video. I know it's a short dive into it, but, you know, I did my carry. I wanted to share what the results were. And, of course, tomorrow night, Friday, we're doing Cardboard Slayer on this thing to see how long the S35VN holds up. So if you want to see what happens there in real time, please drop by and check it out. Hang out with us. We have a lot of fun. I will also say we are so close to 2K subscribers. I think I've got like 7 or 8 subs left to go before I hit 2K. So, if you haven't subscribed, please do. I have got 4 knives to give away at 2K, so the window to get in there and win yourself a knife is closing very rapidly, far faster than I thought. Yeah, I mean, overall, fantastic. Great knife. The $100 on it is a bit steep. If you're not interested or not that worried about S35VN, of course you can get one in AUS-8 or D2 for far, far cheaper. I think those hit the $45 mark-ish. I could be wrong, but it's worth looking if you want a Rat 1. And if you've been on the fence about the Rat 1, just go ahead and jump on it and grab it. I mean, it's a bit outdated, it's a bit vintage, and of course, newer knives have things this doesn't. Like a flipper tab probably would have set this thing off even harder, but it doesn't have to have a flipper tab. I mean, the action's good enough on the thumb studs. Let's flick the stud again. It's good enough on there that I never had any major problems with it. You know, I'm not a big fan of flipping off a thumb stud to begin with, but this does it more than adequately. It's easy enough that I can't really complain about it. So yeah. If you want a Rat 1, go ahead and jump on it. The S35VN is going to be about $100, depending on where you buy it. Like, I just looked at Blade HQ for the measurements on this thing, and yeah, $100 even, pretty much. So, that's everything that I can think of to mention about the Rat 1. And like I said, we're going to find out what that S35VN do tomorrow night. So, all that being said, thanks for looking at my crap. Subscribers, you guys are awesome. Y'all keep coming in, and y'all have gotten us up to right at 2K way faster than I thought we would. Like, that slog to 1K took forever, and the jump from 1K to 2K has gone so much faster. I can't thank you guys enough for that. It feels really good to be having that happen right now. And again, 4 knives to give away at 2K. If you haven't subbed, please do. Get yourself in the door to win one of these, to win a knife. Not one of these. But yeah, comments. I love some feedback. Let me know what you think about these guys. And all that being said, y'all have a nice day.